A reflection for Mothering Sunday. Exodus 2, verses 1 to 10, the birth of Moses. Now a man of the tribe of Levi married a Levite woman, and she became pregnant and gave birth to a son. When she saw that he was a fine child, she hid him for 3 months. But when she could hide him no longer, she got a papyrus basket for him and coated it with tar and pitch. Then she placed the child in it and put it among the reeds along the bank of the Nile. His sister stood at a distance to see what would happen to him. Then Pharaoh's daughter went down to the Nile to bathe, and her attendants were walking along the river bank. She saw the basket among the reeds and sent her female slave to get it. She opened it and saw the baby. He was crying, and she felt sorry for him. "This is one of the Hebrew babies," she said. Then his sister asked Pharaoh's daughter, "Shall I go and get one of the Hebrew women to nurse the baby for you?" "Yes, go," she answered. So the girl went and got the baby's mother. Pharaoh's daughter said to her, "Take this baby and nurse him for me, and I will pay you." So the woman took the baby and nursed him. When the child grew older, she took him to Pharaoh's daughter, and he became her son. She named him Moses, saying, "I drew him out of the water." And John 19, verses 25 to 27. Near the cross of Jesus stood his mother's sister, Mary, the wife of Clopas, and Mary Magdalene. When Jesus saw his mother there and the disciple whom he loved standing nearby, he said to her, "Woman, here is your son," and to the disciple, "Here is your mother." From that time on, this disciple took her into his home. What day is it today? I promise you it's not a trick question. Today, if you look in your church notices, it's firmly described as Mothering Sunday, not Mother's Day. Because for us in church, at least though, today is a day when we do celebrate and thank God for our mothers. We celebrate even more the huge family and army of people who mother us. Can you tell me what is in my basket here? No, it's not another trick question, I promise. Where do you think this bread came from? Tesco's? Reeves? My kitchen? Well, yes, and then some, because this bread here actually came all the way from Afghanistan. So let's have a look in the basket. We have all sorts of different breads. We have tin breads made from white bread flour. We have a cob loaf made from brown flour. We have a tear and share loaf made with cheese and onion. We even have a flat bread that's got some mould on it. We have a hot crust bun, and we have rolls with oats and seeds in them. But the common things that all of these breads have in them are the ingredients. We have flour, and it's soft and silky, and the main part of the bread. But it can be made from different grains, which give us the different colours. All of the breads contain water. We need the water because it's part of the chemical reaction to make all of the ingredients come together to give us the bread. In a number of the breads, we have yeast. It helps to make the bread rise. And it can be something else in other breads, like soda bread. Or in some countries, like Afghanistan, they eat unleavened bread. And sugar, which gives the energy the yeast to do its job. But there's other things that we need to make the bread all of those ingredients come together to make bread. And that's warmth and love and effort. And yes, we may add those different things to the bread, like the cheese and the onion in the tear and share, and the currants and the peel in the hot crust buns. And they may taste a bit different or a bit special, and there may be things to make them last a bit longer. But the core part of the bread, the core ingredients, are the same the world over. Our Old Testament reading highlights the truth that in the words of an African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child, as it gives a picture of the infant Moses receiving love, care and nurture from not one but 3 mother figures. And I'm confident that it's worked that way for most of us. Each one of us needs 3 core ingredients like the bread: love, care and encouragement. And I know that as a mum, though that I tried to do my best, my children would have had a very raw deal if they relied only on me. But I know that I've shared in the real work of mothering with so many others. Just as I received that sort of care from many different people, beside the loving and loved woman who gave birth to me. A bit like the different varieties of the bread in the baskets. If I had to make a list, I'd start with her right now. But I'd add at least 3 other women who showed me huge love and care as I grew up. Teachers, men and women who encouraged me and brought me out the best in me. Friends of my own age who took care that I wasn't alone at the traditional family times. And I'd need to mention lots of children who've known when I've needed a hug to make me feel better, or worked hard to make me smile. So much mothering given and received, and that's just how it should be. Today can be difficult for many people. Some people might never have known their mothers or lost them a long time ago. Some might have children who've disappointed them or whom they have disappointed. Some might have longed for children but found that it hasn't worked out, or have suffered the awful pain of losing a much-loved child. Some people might have had to have nursed a mother through a very difficult illness, and that changed a relationship. Life is often messy, never perfect, and families are the same, whatever the greetings card industry might like us to believe, or indeed how bread making is. And sometimes it goes a bit wrong, just like the mouldy bread in my basket. But the message today is that family exists where people are loving towards one another, not just where there are a mum, dad and children. Our gospel reading shows us that sort of family can be created, as Jesus asks his mother to look after his best friend, and that friend to look after his mother. He knows he won't be there to care for either of them, but wants the best for both of them. So here, even while he's telling John that Mary is now his mum, and Mary that John is to be her son, so it's mostly Jesus that does the mothering. You see, you really don't have to be a woman, let alone a mother, to share in that important work. It's something we can all do. Jesus brings a new family to birth through his loving care, and the family he establishes is the family that's here today, the church. In this family, we can and we should share in the work of mothering. God gives us all the basic ingredients to do his work and continues to support us wherever we are in the world. Christians believe in the same God and worship the same Christ and ask the same Spirit to help them wherever they are in the world, and by praying to him that we don't go mouldy. Today we celebrate that Mothering Sunday is all about those who mother us, women, men and children, those who care for us, who teach us and help us to grow. We go on needing people like that, whether we're 5 or 50. So let's ask God to help us to share his work of mothering, of loving and caring for one another. And let's make our church a true family where all are welcome.